The new one card FTK. So yesterday there was a brand new FTK that surfaced on the face of the earth. And who, none other than this guy right here, Jesse Khan, was the one that actually came up with this combo. Not only does this combo win on your first turn, but it's also very consistent as well, which makes this combo very scary. In today's metagame right now, there are tons of 1 to 2 card combos that build unbreakable boards. But instead of building these unbreakable boards, why not just FTK your opponent on your first turn? So if you're going to a YCS or regional, playing a combo deck, hoping to not get hand trapped, you might as well play FTKs anyways. Literally the next day is YCS Niagara, so if you guys are not prepared for a deck like this to show up at a YCS, you guys are going to be in serious trouble. All I'm trying to do in this video is try to spread awareness that this FTK actually exists. Okay guys, so I won't waste any more of your time. Without further ado, let's hop right onto YGOPro to demonstrate you guys this FTK real quick. Hey guys, welcome to another episode of YGOPro, and today I'm going to be demonstrating you guys a brand new FTK that Jesse Khan showcased on Nerdy Jersey's channel. So without further ado, let's begin. This is going to be a 1 card FTK, and let's see with our starting 5, let's see if we can actually draw one of those cards. So without further ado, let's begin. We're going to off with Paper Gang. You guys all know paper is always the way to go. So obviously we're going to go first since our deck is an FTK based deck. If you draw this card, you win the duel. Alright, so we have the FTK. So basically, Draconet or Overraptor, Sonic Mining, Fossil Dig gives you the 1 card FTK. And instead of just explaining it to you guys, I'm going to just demonstrate you guys real quick. So we're going to normal summon Draconet, okay? Activate Dragonet's effect. We're going to special summon Galaxy Serpent directly from the deck. And this combo is going to start off with your generic standard Dragon Link combo play. So we're going to use Galaxy Serpent and also Dragonet that we have on the field right here to make Ib the World Challenge Justice CR. And Ib is actually one of the cards that facilitates every single FTK in today's format. So we're going to activate Ib's effect. Once Ib is special summoned, we're going to be able to search the World Legacy Guard Dragon directly from our deck to our hand. Now we're actually going to activate World Legacy Guard Dragon, okay, to target a dragon in the graveyard, and the dragon that we're going to target is the Galaxy Serpent. So target Galaxy Serpent, and we're going to special summon Galaxy Serpent to our side of the field. So now using Ib and Galaxy Serpent right here, we're going to link these 2 cards away into our link 2 XCs, which is the Barricade Board Blocker. So we're going to use these 2 cards right here. The reason why this card is actually really important is that this card is a machine. So that way that once Brotar comes out, Brotar can target this card to basically add a machine monster directly from the deck to our hand. So now we're going to special summon the World Child's Guard Dragon directly from our deck using Ib's effect. So now what we're going to do is that we're going to link away the World Child's Guard Dragon into our standard LP play. So make LP right here. And in Jesse's video, he kind of talked about how you can actually make Reprodocus instead of Barricade Blocker. But the problem with Reprodocus is that once you target LP to make LP a machine, you cannot use World Legacy Guard Dragons to move the LP to the zone because LP will be a machine. World Legacy Guard Dragon can only move Dragon monsters. So Barricade Blocker is definitely important for this combo. You can't really use Reprodocus. You can only use Barricade Board Blocker for this FTK. So mind you, use Barricade Board Blocker instead of Reprodocus. So now what we're going to do is that we're going to activate the spell to target the LP, move the LP right here to the zone. So now we have 2 pointers pointing to 1 zone. We can activate LP's effect to special summon Brotar directly from the deck. So we're going to special summon the Brotar. We're going to activate Brotar's ability. So we're going to target the Barricade Board Blocker right here. So target this card. We're going to discard the Flamval Guard. It doesn't matter what cards you discard from your hand to the graveyard. As long as you get to discard any card from your hand with the 1 card like Draconet or Raptor, you basically have the FTK. So we're going to send the Flamval Guard from our hand to the graveyard to add Cannon Soldier directly from our deck to our hand. And now using Barricade Board Blocker, Brotar, and also LP, we're going to link it to our best friend Saryuja Skuldread. So once Skuldread comes out, we get to activate Saryuja's ability to special summon a Cannon Soldier from our hand. So this is going to be our generic standard Firewall combo, which is going to burn your opponent's life points to death. So now we're going to use that. We're going to activate World Child's Guard Dragon in the graveyard, banish it to special summon Galaxy Serpent back from our graveyard. Okay, cool. So now we're going to link away Galaxy Serpent into our Pisty. Guard Dragons are really unfair, guys. It's ridiculous. We can activate Pisty's effect to target the World Child's Guard Dragon from a banish zone. The reason why we use World Child's Guard Dragon is because so that way that we can actually get it back in the graveyard. So if your opponent were to interrupt you mid-combo, you can actually have a follow-up play within the following turn, which is really good. So now we're going to use Saryuja and also the Dragon to make Argipane. And Argipane is probably going to get banned on the next upcoming balance because of how broken this card is. So now we're going to activate Argipane's ability. We're going to special summon right here the Super Alloy Beast Raptinus. Raptinus? Yeah, Raptinus. So we need special summon this card right here, and this card is actually very important for this FTK. What this card basically does is that all face-up Gemini monsters in the field are treated as effect monsters and gain their effects. So this card basically makes all Gemini monster effects becomes useful, and Gemini monsters are definitely going to be used for this FTK. So now with Pisty and Argipane that we have on the field, we're going to link away into our Heretic Seal. Okay, cool. So this is our board right here. Once we have this board set up, we basically have FTK. So now I'm going to activate, of course, Cannon Soldier's ability. We're going to tribute the Heretic Seal, deal 500 damage to our opponent. Once Heretic Seal gets tributed, Heretic Seal is going to activate its ability to special summon a dragon monster directly from the deck. And the dragon monster that you want to special summon right here is the Heretic Seal of Dragon King. This card isn't really that good because it's a Gemini, but since we got Super Alloy Beast in the field, all Gemini monsters will gain their ability. And this card's ability is that you can tribute this card to special summon a Heretic monster from your deck, hand, or graveyard. So when it activates its effect, to tribute it to special summon Gebeb directly from the deck. Okay, cool. This can be any Heretic monster, but Gebeb is really good because it's level 4, and Gebeb and, you know, like a Flamwall Guard, you know, first turn is an IB. So now we can activate Cannon Soldier's effect. We can tribute the Gebeb right here, deal 500. Once Gebeb is tributed, we basically get a special back to the Heretic Seal Dragon King, and this is our loop right here. We activate Dragon King, tribute it, special summon Gebeb back from our graveyard, do the exact same thing over and over again until our opponent has no more life. Okay, right here. So this is right basically the one card FTK. We have the FTK right here. So we're gonna be basically burning our opponent's life to death right now, using Gebet's ability to special summon back Dragon King. You guys will see the repetitive loop. We're gonna be basically keep doing this until our opponent has 0 life. Alright, okay guys, so there you go. Your opponent's at 500 life points left. We're going to activate Cannon Soldier's last effect. So now we're going to tribute one more time to deal 8,000 damage to our opponent on our first turn with just one card, and any card you can discard from your hand to the graveyard. So Draconet is a 1-card FTK, which is absolutely insane. Draconet, Overraptor, Silent Mining, Fossil Dig. You basically open up an Overraptor or Draconet, you basically have game, and as long as you get access to IB, you basically have game. There are lots of decks today in today's metagame that open up with 2-card combos. Like 2-card combos will make an unbreakable board, and obviously unbreakable boards are meant to be broken. Your opponent actually has to try to break those boards, whereas FTK, if your opponent doesn't have the hand trap, if you're not going to get interrupted anyways, might as well not give your opponent a turn, right? So a huge shout out goes to Jesse Khan for coming up with his combo. It's insane. Cannon Soldier right here, and also the Super Alloy Beast is the reason why this FTK is possible, and without Argipane, this combo would never exist. So Argipane is definitely a top contender to get banned on the upcoming ban list. It's not going to be LP, it's going to be Argipane. And the fact that you can actually bring out this card to make an infinite loop like this to burn your opponent's life to death, it's ridiculous. Before I go, I'm going to talk to you guys a little bit on how you can actually beat this FTK and how to counter this FTK. So one, obviously Nibiru should be in everyone's side deck. This card is obviously one of the cards that actually stop combo deck. Nibiru just does everything, and it counters every single combo deck in today's metagame. So you guys must pray that you have Nibiru in your first opening hand and stop this Dragon Link FTK. So against decks like this, you also want to have the highest chance on actually drawing a hand trap. So side deck cards like Ash Blossom, Ghost Ogre, and Snow Rabbit, Effect Veiler, Infinite Impermanence to actually counter this deck if you are going second. The best hand trap is Infinite Impermanence. So if you know your opponent is playing this combo heavy specific deck, you should save the Infinite Impermanence for the Argipane. And once you hit Argipane, Argipane is not going to be able to bring out this guy right here, the Super Alloy Beast Raptinus. And once they can't bring out this guy, you pretty much are going to win the duel, and they already exhausted all their resources into going to their combo plays, and once they can't bring him out, then what's the point, right? Another card that you can stop as well is also Cannon Soldier. So you have Effect Veiler, and if you want to make your opponent commit into actually going for this FTK, you can just basically wait for the Cannon Soldier and just activate Effect Veiler on Cannon Soldier, and then that should be pretty much it, right? And then your opponent basically can't activate Cannon Soldier multiple times in one turn to burn your life points to death. Another hand trap that's really good is also DD Crow as well. If you can activate DD Crow on this Heretic Seal of Dragon King right here, this FTK will also immediately stop. So that's some tips and tricks that I have for you guys. The most effective being Nibiru and also Infinite Impermanence. Tomorrow is YCS Niagara, so for those of you who are going to YCS Niagara, definitely be aware that a deck like this is going to exists. Just negate the Argipane, use Impermanence or Argipane or something, and you pretty much are Gucci. Make sure you have every single hand trap possible to stop this FTK, because if you're not aware of it, or if you're not prepared for this FTK at your YCS or regionals, pretty much are gonna have a bad day. So I'm letting you guys know right now, I'm making this FTK because I want to spread awareness to let you guys know that something like this actually exists. And yeah, that's pretty much for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. It's your boy Sam from Team Sam signing out. Alright guys, peace.